Many people have been asking me how did I get my podcast up and running that quickly? Well, the secret is Anchor. It's the easiest way to make a podcast. And it's free. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. It can also help you to distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. And you can make money from a podcast too with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. If you're interested, find out more. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Hello everyone and welcome to HR Academy, a podcast where we tackle all things HR in the Asia region. I'm your host Adrian Tan, a HR entrepreneur and a recent HR tech advocate. In each episode, I interview prominent HR leaders to find out about their thoughts in human capital, their biggest HR accomplishments, as well as their favorite failures. My guests include HR leaders from Grab, Grumpfus, Changi Airport Group, and many more. This episode is brought to you by Hoorah. Did you know that 77% of HR executives believe that performance reviews are not an accurate representation of employee performance? When the performance appraisal process is viewed to be biased and ineffective, employees become demoralised, disengaged, and eventually leave. It's time to do things smarter, better, and faster. Hoorah is a mobile-first professional feedback and performance management solution. Instead of collecting feedback about your employees once or twice a year, Hoorah provides a continuous and anonymous feedback channel both on mobile and web. Hoorah does not stop at helping you collect internal feedback. Feedback from external parties is also captured seamlessly. The feedback collected are analyzed and used to drive data-driven performance appraisals. Don't wait until the next review cycle to find out how you can improve. Email feedback@hoorah.io today with Adrian Roth as the subject and get a 1-month free trial today. Email feedback@hoorah.io now. In this episode, we'll be having Michael Wright. If you're in HR space, you probably will find that name familiar. Michael has spent his lifetime in talent acquisition and is most well known in building up the talent acquisition function in GroupM Singapore. He is currently heading up the TA function in Grab, Southeast Asia's largest mobile tech company with a valuation of more than $3 billion. Having spent some time in China, he is proficient in Mandarin, and in a previous lifetime, he was actually a music producer. Let's hear from Michael about his thoughts and journey in the HR space. Please share with me about your role in HR.
At Grab, we don't use the term HR. We call it People Operations, or POPs for short. I used to work for a Chief Talent Officer, and now I work for the Head of People. Using talent or people, I think, is a much better way to describe what we do. My role here in POPs is to ensure that Grab recruit the best people in the fastest possible time.
When you're a kid, what do you want to be when you grow up?
Oh, this is one of those self-indulgent interviews, is it? I got it. I didn't have much ambition as a kid other than dating girls with tattoos and writing 4-chord punk songs. If I wasn't in the talent business, I'd be running a business in the VFX and animation space, which is my passion.
What were you doing before you got into HR?
I worked in a soda pop factory before. I've baked bread on an industrial scale. I've driven and crashed a forklift truck. I oversaw hot printers at a junk mail direct marketing company.
What is your typical workday like?
My job at Grab is varied and super interesting. When I'm not consuming food from the fabulous pantry, I'm bouncing between our offices at Cecil and Midview City and getting to know my teams and getting to know the business. My most important mission at present is delivering a CRM and ATS implementation and dreaming up ingenious ways to hire people who code.
What has been your proudest HR moment?
I really like winning things. Guess so do most people. So for me, a big career highlight was leading GroupM to major victories in 2015 and 2016 in Singapore, Malaysia and Hong Kong, as we were recognised at the ARA, Asia Recruitment Awards for Honours in Recruitment Tech, candidate evaluation, and our careers site, among many other regional talent acquisition programs.
And what had been the lowest point for you?
A lifetime low point for me was liquidating the UK arm of the company I founded, which had grown and thrived over a decade. We fell afoul of invoice factoring to boost cash flow for growth and run large numbers of contractors. A couple of our high-tech clients went into emergency administration and we were left to shoulder responsibility. What did I learn? Cash flow is king and you should never take loans.
What's the top challenge facing HR today?
Traditional HR has already missed so many opportunities to have a seat at the table. They've been a laggard on adopting digital, understanding social, and now they're mostly behind on data and analytics. The next big challenge, and one they cannot afford to miss, will be the rise of AI and the organizational impact of automation.
What are your recommendations in tackling this challenge?
Well, don't fear the robots, embrace them. Embrace them by finding opportunities to automate some of the transactional workload. For example, at Grab we have FAQ chatbots living in Slack, which deliver immediate responses to grabbers on HR matters, and reading books is also worth making the time to do. So to prepare for the AI invasion, I'd recommend reading Rise of the Robots by Martin Ford and The Inevitable by Kevin Kelly.
Who has influenced you most in HR?
Easy, Dr. John Sullivan. Radical, unapologetic, and smart as a whip.
What is your favorite HR technology?
JFK said that man is still the most extraordinary computer of all, and I subscribe to that. The best technology can still fail if the team is wrong and feeding the tech the wrong data. My favorite tech in the last 12 months has been AI-assisted job advert optimization in the form of a product called Textio, and idiot-proof design software in the form of a brilliant product called Canva.
What would be your advice to people who are looking to pursue a career in HR?
You'll be paid in the future based on how well you work with robots. 90% of your co-workers will be unseen machines. Most of what you do will not be possible without them, and there'll be a blurry line between what you do and what they do. You might no longer think of it as a job, at least at first, but it is. It's what HR will look like. So learn as much as you can about how APIs work and connect. Learn about automation across apps, and probably start with something simple like IFTTT or Zapier. Understand how machines learn, and if possible, learn how to code. I'm recommending Google's Golang, as it's built for scale and concurrency. And, well, it's the language that Google use.
What is one HR message you'd like to drive across to business leaders?
I'm lucky to be at Grab. I came here because the leaders prioritize talent and culture. For other business leaders, they should start scenario planning with their partners in HR because automation is coming and it's better to be prepared.
Where can people find you online?
The best place to find me online is my blog, Talent Bite, where I write as the recruiting fellow and I wear some rather dashing suits. Why don't you go and check them out at www.talentbite.com.
This episode is brought to you by Hoorah. Did you know that 77% of HR executives believe that performance reviews are not an accurate representation of employee performance? When the performance appraisal process is viewed to be biased and ineffective, employees become demoralised, disengaged, and eventually leave. It's time to do things smarter, better, and faster. Hoorah is a mobile-first professional feedback and performance management solution. Instead of collecting feedback about your employees once or twice a year, Hoorah provides a continuous and anonymous feedback channel both on mobile and web. Hoorah does not stop at helping you collect internal feedback. Feedback from external parties is also captured seamlessly. The feedback collected are analyzed and used to drive data-driven performance appraisals. Don't wait until the next review cycle to find out how you can improve. Email feedback@hoorah.io today with Adrian Roth as the subject and get a 1-month free trial today. Email feedback@hoorah.io now. Thank you for listening to the HR Academy. I hope you enjoyed this episode and many more to come. I would really appreciate if you could leave your feedback and review on iTunes. That will help in letting more people know about this podcast. If you'd like to learn more about HR, go to my website at adriantan.com.sg, where I write about HR and HR technology.